accountability and transparency prevails, making sure that that ministry at you building is cascaded to the villages, because it's only when we take agriculture as a practical art, if you can call it, then we can actualize it. But I think President Bio, the big thing there is it must add the budget, but also make sure that the current budget being allocated to agriculture is well treated, because if you look at the audit reports, one of the ministry that we rampant wastage day and also corruption or lack of accountability is that of the Ministry of Agriculture. So in as much as we advocate for more money, but let there be accountability with already existing monies. Several ministers don't can go, several issues from fertilizers to tractors and all of these issues. So there is a need for accountability, but also there is a need for more resources for people. And mind you, when I say feed Salona, because we're angry, so the president is very right that he understands that Sierra Leone is one of the hungriest nations in the world. So we're angry, and if the past say one feed we today we already stock, but I forbid. At the same part back being talk say, for there you get appointment, you forget farm. I wonder no more where the party talk.
How realistic was that?
No, the part all that talk there. I think you don't forget about that side, but I just remember no more. It been talked that day, and of course we get things like the Tomabom, we get other very fertile places in Cambia and elsewhere. We need to be honest. So we get the land. What we lack perhaps is the not even the resources, but the systems for change the situation. And that's why people are not say, Chinese money, not for the diamond money for the car. And for the car back for Pulip and this angry. Because you can't take all the mineral left the people angry, that's no problem. So President Louis is right in saying he wants to feed us, the hungry people of Sierra Leone, but his approach and his financial or budgetary allocation towards that goal for the top most priority, I think he match up, add up.
Okay. Bringing in Solomon, how we will make the agricultural sector more attractive? Because of recent we don't see village then where people and they farm, young people and then they migrate from them village and come to the city. The majority for kind of engage in bike riding, and so how we make the agricultural sector be attractive? We will attract more people and draw more people and so that we're able to achieve this feed salon initiative.
Thank you. I think for me, I dream this. We don't talk about, education. We see how we go small, then, some of you being back for draw the attention of, the authorities and for tell and say, we can, build up the middleman power, we can build up the human capacity, but an empty bag cannot stand, right? That was why some of us, like me, I was embarking on writing, calling the attention or drawing the attention of authorities who are concerned that, agriculture is the way forward, right? Yeah. And when you talk about agriculture, it encompasses of so many things, right? Yeah. Today we are talking of, mechanized farming. And when you talk about mechanized farming, it involves a lot. Usai, me brother, they talk about, the budget allocation is small. But for me, in as much as, a true back to, all the former presidents and the predecessors we taken from, we'll be hearing about green revolutions from, Sheki, Momo, Okantu, Pakaba. He said, at a point, he said to reach a time, no Sierra Leonean will go to bed with hunger. Even though that word was translated in the other way, because it doesn't mean you will just sit down and they come and feed you, but you go to the farm and work. We use Papa say money then at the bush, and for we in those days when they come up, we see people embark on so many agricultural productivities. We see back Usai, and Dr. Anes by Kromaka. We see, we talk about tractorizations. We be part of farm. We hear Usai one of the best, processing rice. We if we be embark on them, we in America. Right, that new rice for Africa. We will be guest the professor, Professor Monty Jones, we are the founder of that particular product. Well, at that time, some of will be involved into then disseminating seedlings, right? We say we when the African Development Bank began, we have been one of the best farm we didn't take within the Western area, and I will do more than 100 acres during the days of Ernest by Kroma. But what we see inside that thing, they're not able for, like when my brother mentioned, the Ministry of Agriculture. At that time, then they allow people then for go into tractorizations and then tell farmers and say, may them go, take up, the preparation of farm, plowing, and doing other and arrowing, because if if money no dey, you can't do that. We talk about fuel at that time. But what they do, some of the operatives and within the ministry at that time, now they know how they put some money. They make farmers and go involve the money. Then at the end of the day, they just can't take pittance, can't give them. We might be, civil society in that direction. We'll be the advocates for the agriculture, be in the way for be. We not see that in the work, because the Nerika rice what they talk about now 3 months. For every 3 months, right? You harvest. And if we get any kind, seed, right, cut across the country, we land preparation well. Now we see outside the president don't talk say Tomo Abum. In those days, we all know say Sierra Leone now one of the countries where they feed the other countries. We get Bundapi. Outside you see a lot of agricultural thing the way they. You get the Putloko, you get the Okupa, you get the areas and they. If now the president don't allocate 10%, now it's starting points, right? I can always say 100 miles they start with a stepping stone. If you not put if you not start with that kind of thing, you know we're able for execute your program. Okay. Feeds alone, we all know say today the whole world, right? Now global challenges we all face. We will talk about food productivity, it don't less now the country then. We will talk about other productivities like onion, right? All of them in the if we say them back on and now for do we own, right? At least we're not going to say with the cuts of importation, right? Through there, we cannot. But we minimize them, right? How we minimize them? Like we don't launch this one. Thank God we do this time. They set up a council. That council day, now you get for sit down. At least they go into the practical aspects. One, we know we just say agriculture. Now within Freetown a day. Look the office. Now I allocated. We get district office system where you get district agricultural office system. But this time round, let the president say time like how you put them. Let we all tie with our jar. But in the team lead, right? They get for see monitoring take place because agriculture not to only for let we eat. We call them farm for business. Anybody really involved into agriculture, let me say now farm for business, agriculture for business. Where we go to call packaging, right? We don't do processing. You don't go into all of them in at the end of the day, let we get money out of them in Which side they do the farming, then villages, then towns, then let we get feeder roads, right? We'll get access to the market because like what we talk about entering business now. Which side go make the NCR happen, right? From the north to the east, northwest, we connect to the internet. Anybody will just come up country few days. If you go now with parts, right? Then big planting, but most of them productions and they go towards Guinea because it's shorter. The reason being, for letting carry that transport where you pay, for letting carry cover that money, is so exorbitant. So for me, what we talk about agriculture, not only tap for do the farming itself, but access to farm, where we talk about feeder roads, you get all that thing them way, involved. So, if private people they come inside, we governments alone not be able for do them, but let governments make sure say that tractor way they give people them. Let not be that kind of way they put them for say you go pay how many millions for just go plow for you or for do harrowing, who's that money they come out. So let governments make a kind of cooperative who side then go they monitor like that council they. If people 100 people that don't come together or 50 or 10 people that don't come together for do farming, we not give them the tools, we not manage them well. We get in community banks, but are they really financing the farmers? So that's not the 1 million question.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Make we move forward to another story. In a remarkable display of statesmanship, the government of Sierra Leone and the All People's Congress Party, APC, have wrapped up 3 days of peace talks addressing grievances stemming from the June 2023 general elections. Leader of the APC party, Dr. Samara Kamara, says the journey that has been started is difficult, noting that even though APC may not have achieved what the party has been fighting for, but what was achieved within the terms of preference should be appreciated. To move forward, he emphasized that Sierra Leone is the winner and not any of the parties. Self-Richard Kamara reports.
Land that we love, our Sierra Leone.
Concluding the 3 days dialogue, leader of the APC party, Dr. Samara Kamara, mentioned that there is a complete mismatch between politics and what it takes to move Sierra Leone forward and improve the welfare of citizens. He urged public servants to be truthful to Sierra Leone and do the best to soften the journey for the next generation. What began as a divide over election outcomes has transformed into a beacon of hope for national unity.
It's a difficult one. Journalist was asking me, did you achieve what you came here for? I said, well, I achieved what I have to achieve within the context of the terms of reference and the capabilities of the mediation issue. We came here, they had their own terms of reference. Yes, we may not have achieved what the APC actually has been fighting for. But what we have achieved within the context of this dialogue is a very good step. We should appreciate that and move forward. I pray that we have the goodwill, we have the grace to fully implement to the letter what we have agreed on. Without any posturing, as I always say. Nobody wins, nobody has lost. We're all winners.
The past 3 days witnessed the power of dialogue over discord as both parties put pen to paper, signing an agreement that charts a course towards reconciliation, cooperation, and national unity with 8 historic resolutions.
The party's resolves the following. His Excellency the President to make a national address on dialogue, unity, cohesion, and peace. The APC will end its non-participation in governance. His Excellency the President, in consultation with the APC party, will constitute a cross-party committee on electoral systems and management bodies review.
In the spirit of nation building, unity has been chosen over division. The grievances are acknowledged, but the focus now is on a united Sierra Leone. The Chief Minister, Dr. David Monina Senge, represented the government of Sierra Leone.
In the middle of the day, I was very hungry, tired, thirsty. My team did not give me the water. The Peace Commission did not give me water. The person who gave me an apple was Dr. Samara Kamara.
Wow.
I think it's important that we understand the symbolism of this and why I did not take that for granted. We've all been in a place where there's so much distrust, and yet the best part of my day was biting in a cold, refreshing apple when it seemed like we were going nowhere. That gave me hope.
The signed communique outlines a commitment to political inclusivity, fostering a spirit of cooperation that transcends party lines for the greater good of Sierra Leone. One of the joint facilitators, former Vice President of the Gambia, Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, says The media has a great role to play in ensuring implementation of all the resolutions.
Forget about the past and just work together, love each other, have commitment to moving the country forward. Peace is the best ingredient for peace and stability. Cameroon is a beautiful country, it's a beacon of democracy and hope, so we believe that the media also have responsibility in promoting that image, good image of Sierra Leone.
In a society often divided by politics, this moment of unity speaks volumes. Sierra Leoneans can now look forward to a future where dialogue prevails and the national interests take center stage. As the ink dries on this historic agreement, there is need to celebrate a nation's resilience and the courage to embrace peace. Salivu Chorna Kamara, AYV News.
Chorna Kamara for putting together that story. In response to the peace dialogue between the government of Sierra Leone and the All People's Congress Party, some residents in Freetown have expressed their thoughts on the outcome of the dialogue.
As far as I'm concerned, as a businessman, as a Sierra Leonean, we need peace in this country. Because like me at my person, I get 4 people. We do clean at the mall, and how they get me living. So if you peace no day, we're not going to get living. So they talk to the 2 parties, or that will be as a one family.
Well, as for me, I'm glad the peace with them because who they drag so the friend will live in tell God thank you. And we believe say if you peace day, development will come in the country. But if you peace no day, development will come. Maybe to the help the way one can at the country. They say if the government will get one work, the local come as one, they must all help them. So me I'm glad from your side. They don't peace, they don't come as one. So we need to go down now. Let the government let them solve for the man. They will create. They will create.
Out there for engage, but they engage to you and me. The first time now we vote, we see say between APC and now go right with them. You understand it? Now SLPP sit down. To me we sit down so. I want election. The election we me want. When the election credible, me and you will go enjoy peace. But for now, when the election not credible, peace not good. Now the open door will get so delicate today. You understand? Eh? When they go and say closed door, what do they make closed door for? That closed door they don't mean anything. Una self in a journalist, una no go able to go. Waiting and the good talk. Now me quiet, waiting and be don't talk, yanda. They can't say na close, waiting they go close up. It's not democracy. It's conspiracy. Talk waiting the people and sabi. Talk waiting the people and know. Alisa, they like it today. Salon don't go back. You know, and they work here. And they help people in the country. But what you want is sincere government for picking them.
Gentlemen, you've heard from the story there. The 3 days dialogue between the government of Sierra Leone and the All People's Congress Party finally came to an end with about 8 resolutions that were made. First, let me start with you, Melvin. After almost 4 months after the election, having these political stalemates in the country, finally don't seem to get a headway. As both the opposition and the government be able to sit down at a round table and see way for chats and for able to resolve the issue. And at the end of the day, they come out to solutions and things that they need to do together for ensure say the peace and national cohesion be maintained in the country. Firstly, waiting you make up of this dialogue?
Well, I think say we for tell Papa God thank you, and also for tell the facilitators thank you, the Peace Commission for tell them thank you, Mother Tambajan from the Gambia, the African Union and ECOWAS and Commonwealth for thank them all. Of course, the dialogue been brief because 3 days for the kind which I call tough negotiation, and it shows that we also compliment or appreciate the causes of the problem, the government of Sierra Leone and the APC, that for once they will disagree for agreeing and for go sitting at the table. And of course, if you look at the agreement for national unity, it speaks to the problems and it attempts to provide solutions, be they short term, mid term, or long term. So that was a piece of document where if the president in point 8, if they get action and then put commitments into and the government exercise in power, which I would say morally for a win-win, then we can get something out of them, definitely. Of course, the public, like I be say first, will be cautiously upbeat, or will be cautiously positive, because when you hear some people say, an above case, now so it end fumble and that, I want to say a lie. Anybody tell you say, now so it will be talking, I don't know, a lie, now possibly not get the actual context. The actual context is in the next 1 to 6 months, if all goes well, a committee will look into the election itself and all the issues. And whatever that committee reports there for say, Fabula will mean the end. So they wanted to go and talk to all in London. I want to say that is not true. The process is still ongoing, and this is not a positive road to the end of the impasse, but not meaning saying at the end of the impasse. We only pray for a positive end, and so far we waiting the resolutions. Then first we expect for it from the president, waiting President Bioga for talk with regards to the attendance issues, with regards to ECSL, and with regards to the Supreme Court and all of that. And of course, also let me highlight the point people in the say, if the agreement say APC no go court the North Sky, well, me know the APC and the SLPP, I don't believe for the none. So the SLPP with the opposition, friends like Josie say, could tell you say yes. I used to argue points that way make sense to me by then. So the point here is, you already say APC no go court na be wrong thing. You need to look at the same preamble, which you say we get cases in our Supreme Court against the Electoral Commission, we not completed it. So for that person, you say it's make APC no go court, me not APC, but it's simply logical that if you get cases in the Supreme Court, we not addressed, which you want for good duty. Me not support the idea of APC no go court, but the idea there is the judiciary for improve on the image, improve on public trust in it, for the fact that within the National Unity Agreement say it indict them. So we went to a sitting President Bioga for talk on the issue of dialogue, national unity and peace. Above all, then critical issues then where APC be don't say for South Corner. What the President Bioga say about that? What he will say about the Supreme Court cases them against ECSL? What he will say about the result as per the provisions as captured in the agreement section 92 and the right to access information section 2.1. All that wait for see waiting the president here for talk. So that is quite important. Above all, of course, I guess a critical point, but people listen left that side. So, Motamano to God, if people are talking for listening, the president and the president, but I get a critical point, so I will share for now. So those are the things we look ahead. And point 2, APC, they are sure that they come back into government. Interesting, and that is welcoming also. But when are they coming, we don't know. We suspect that perhaps the coming week or weeks, they will return. And that will be a positive sign. Of course, the big thing about this, we all man win, and that they recommend the composition of a cross-party committee on electoral systems and management bodies review with a 3-pronged leadership of SLPP, APC, and development partners. I mean, these are the biggest thing we could do in this case. First, the president of Ogabi don't say June Lechalo will be in charge of something like the kind of tier. But for once now, we get APC and partners. The president will just say partners and political parties. So it's almost the same thing on the big one, just that this time the leadership 3 different sides come on. For me, this line will make or break the whole process as how independent, how neutral it will be, how they will address the contentious issues. Now somebody will say, well, one person get edge over the other. So for me, I think that is very, very important. This committee now will settle the problem for we in the next 6 months. So a lot to be talked about, and we even say 1 month to form this committee, and then for the 6 months, clear mandates and recommendations, and all within this committee, family. Now they get what be interested about this agreement, and so all within this committee say for be actionable. That's pauper. Waiting there for the other reports and be recommended. The government, APC, and partners, they all for the one pauper. So you will go and talk say this is above case, the case done, election will run and that. We not reach in our junction date. We'll reach in the junction of we get a report, everything the report say. Now you will recommend whether ECSL be correct or not correct, or whether the election result be correct or not correct. So Fambu, long of bits to go on it. So allow this committee here. Let's see first now the people left and how they get for make we know the truth from the elections.
Right.
And of course,
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Let's just move over to Solomon. From Dr. Samora Kamara, say APC go into this dialogue process with some mandates them, even though they're not able to achieve them. But what thing they don't achieve so far from the terms of preference, now it starts. How hopeful we be as a nation with saying kind of statements there? Then they get points that they need for it, but not achieve, but say at least we don't get to start.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to tell all the one and we organize, make us start with the Peace Commission. We look and breathe, and we come out from the Truth and TRC, way in a recommendation and the way that we don't make after the war, right? That's for getting kind institution in the way for able for deal with internal issues. For quite too long, like me we sit down here, and that's always I can say. That make we get confidence in the institutions and where we get, and we don't need giants men or lion men or elephants men, them are the institutions there. All we need na credible people. We go straight to center with your mandates. We govern you. So I want to tell the Peace Commission, thank you for laying the foundation. And the mediators that we come, we take them time, the Commonwealth, African Union, ECOWAS, all them body then they we make today also with the for reach at this preamble, right? It take a step for which then kind position in the everything I will say now we if you look at the preamble, if you go to C, Osai, it tell you say, let we note, right, that the laws of Sierra Leone, the 1991 Constitution, for me is sacrosanct. If you go further, you understand, Osai, the government's incessant, underscore, section 32, we, make where they amend. It tell you, in front of the law are the deal with. That's all the talk with and talk under. A border within the laws. And anything they don't talk, now they go with they go in line with the laws, right? We like the peace. Now that's what we want for C. That's not all the time we'll get with internal issues or for they depend on other people and for can't talk with case. This we then do so, right? This you go to the resolutions. You side and tell you say President Bio for address the nation, right? On peace, national unity and cohesion. I think say we wait for that same day, right? We want for see side President Bio will come now with all of the incidents we don't put together inside this document. Just like what from Dr. Samora Kamara, that you go into a negotiation or dialogue, not to waiting you want for saying all single day inside that document. And he also use the word say nobody in this case lost or win. For we, na citizens like we, na salute na in win, right? Because always will be the try for tell them. Always Uda knows Solomon Sundu in advocacy. I can always say, let we learn for engage, we discourse, we dialogue. That is where we are now. Right? For over 4 months, we don't consider here, they talk, say, the elected members of parliament. They have no business with presidential issues. When the presidential candidate don't lose, he don't lose. Una way they elect, be you a member of parliament, councillor, mayor, chairpersons, go to your workplace, take your relevant seat, work for the people who voted you in, right? but they not be look all on one day. Now that they don't realize, say, if it happen, right? And all within they say now, they in tangent with the law, especially with the parliamentary proceedings. That anything we do now, they will not forget, say, the law now cover everything. So for me, well, the good thing we elect, we always would only say, we see you say when the presidents do the state opening of the 6th parliament, the first thing we hit on, they say, year in, year out, when we get elections or when we get into election year in. Let me first start with SLPP cry foul in this with this same electoral law. They come back to the 2012, then cry foul. Now we suicide 2018, the APC don't cry foul. 2023, APC don't cry foul again. It means say what will be the talk when president talk say that committee way they set for look inside with electoral laws if whether it suits for we or we will add other thing them. Now that's always what we don't they say. That what's in the president on the what's in, if then members of parliament we don't go take their seat. I think this nothing the way we want foresee. For every vibrant democracy, what's in one foresee a strong and stiffer opposition in the sense oppose positively, bring tangible, recommendations, think the way if you see say government want pass bill, we not good, voice them out, right? We civil society, the media, we take them voice, we add them to we own, we call the relevant authorities and say, these are the things bordering our laws. Now, if president we don't do that one, they suicide and condemn. First, you see people and say, our vice president go ahead. You see from the EU report, all the thing they do, they tell you say these recommendations are for future elections. Future election means we cannot hold election. Anything we will do now, whether we for Sudan plan this or not Sudan plan this, there is not going to be any rerun elections. All we need to do is for us to come together, like what the president has done, setting up that committee headed by the vice president, for which now the three parties, SLPP, the partners them, but the leadership is going to provide by government. So it means President Bio was not wrong, right, to choose the vice president to head that committee. That is what we were saying. So all these things they say now, we advise to politicians, let them use the languages them well. If you want to gain power, not use forceful word or forceful statement, because it don't happen from all the past presidents. President
Let's just take this.
Madabiu, now Samora Kamara. Yep. So for me, then this committee we don't set, I think say good for we. We will look into elections that we don't pass. So this 2023, no more from 2007, 12, 18, all the wrongs they don't happen. Right. This committee now will come with the gray areas we'll put them on black and white and see we feature.
Let's just read this comment quickly from Ronald Bresford. George Stone, they say, was it the dialogue talk supposed to look at the rig elections? Isn't it why the opposition boycotted parliament? So how can this be seen as a positive end when nothing about the fraud election was addressed? Or say Aliens, you are all witnessing, Aliens, you are all witnessing another undemocratic move by both parties. You've been voting for 62 years and nothing has come out fruitful for you, the electorate. You now know that these two parties don't have the interest of or well-being at heart. Wake up or remain sycophants. So when I just told you again, if this is peace because we've turned a blind eye to the truth, then God helps Alien. We look at the injustice in the lives lost through peaceful protests, those locked up for voicing their opinions, and people can't freely express themselves, yet say the dialogue has brought peace and is a win-win. History will hold these two parties to account in the long run. Alien is going backward. So I just get to a comment.
For me, like what thing I would say just now, right? The Texas, I think for me, we don't want for consider and try for drag issues. Now, for example, USAI in the communique, APC don't talk say all the prisoners same way then people we then arrest or we then detain right within a prison. Then we submit that list day to the ruling or to the government. Then the government will decide. But the question here will be, Augustine, will suicide political parties and reframe themselves then discountenance themselves, say they are not part of those demonstrations, and none of their supporters, involved. In the sense, then press statement and they still do. If you don't make a disclaimer, now people who have killed policemen or destroyed properties for which it belongs to you and I, it's our taxpayers' money. Waiting with the celebrity, even the other side, when at the opposition, they too has to be very careful in submitting those names. If we have those people now who are on trial, then you brought down their name for which they have committed crime against the states, right? We have to be also be careful. We dey see side and say, okay, all political, or okay, some people who have run away or flee the country because of their political opinion. For me, that is the motivated one. But like the cases in the court, right? Let me talk, for example, the COI. This nothing where the international community don't spend huge money per. We don't see suicide conviction that don't take place. We get motivated cases then, for which time they always the day. But then they look, the law, the law may way a govern way. The courts where the talks will not get confidence in. Now the only courts where we get. Now always will cancel on them for there. I will tell and say, make them up the games. Because if they not there for dispense justice at the right time, it will create chaos. It will create anarchy, because justice delay is justice denied.
All right. Let's go to point 7 of the resolutions. They say the government of Sierra Leone and the APC party strictly condemn all citizens at home and abroad who incite violence, hate speech, and disrupt national cohesion online and offline. And government continue all effort to bring those individuals, those involved, to justice. This is also another big challenge.
That is not new. What will they do with Adebayo? APC must condemn now Adebayo openly. Will they do that? Man, I'm afraid they might cause, but you know, do justice to me. Because you know, make that response to Beresford.
Okay,
Beresford.
They still get the chance.
And all the one when you see the agreement not address disaggregated data, that is false. That is propaganda. That's the undermine the process. That is a beating of the gun. You say disaggregated another time. I'm waiting from that committee for. Now that committee, I'm going to tell you whether ECSL in data already and give it work or not work. That committee, they listen what you say. They say everything they recommend for be actionable. Yeah. So that committee, they get the power for compel ECSL as per the agreement. Also, the way I'm talking now, saying that address disaggregated data. Why won't we let the process unfold? These are some of the things that they use for undermine the peace and stability of this country. All man will say APC and SLPP that Alusane and Alassane, although the one who go join them back. But the fact remains, when we talk about national cohesion, some of you controversial and critical, but we don't try to maintain a balance with this one. Not mix the gun, we don't reach that side. It's possible that committee they might get a controversial report against the government. So they are low number begin to people in 1990. Then that issue of the law, I think I don't observe this one week. People in the talk about the law. If not by the law, first of all, the Supreme Court, they under the leader. Because it's clearly stated in the preamble that there are cases against ECSL in the Supreme Court unaddressed. That should be addressed. But from what people understand, that if not by the law, we will not begin negotiation. If not by the law, and this line government that is tight corner, this way the government in this whole process, waiting for take and not take when it comes to the law and political stability. That's a very tight corner as to the discretion, exercising of discretion between the law and political stability. But don't forget, if not by law, for this uncle, nobody can free talk or come on a bush, can free talk, go to the office, we get AC and BB chair and get to come and make a VP.
At the end of the day, the law convicts them.
As per law.
As per law. So even the negotiation, let's spell them out. Let's think that the laws of Sierra Leone, the 1991 Constitution, Act number 6, for which you and I know is sacrosanct. So all discussion now, even the mediators away can. We are a sovereign state. You cannot go beyond the laws. If it's about the law, you cannot compromise, you understand, the law against the wishes of individuals. You not see at the end of the day the law.
No, that is a different problem. For the fact that the law is compromised, why don't they make a marriage? If not by the law, you don't have to so for being very careful,
how we can back up to the law.
If it's about the law, if it's about the law, but not in bail condition.
So that's what the law says. At the end of the day, that's the point.
If it's about the law, this point is getting passionate for done. Because another people want to tell the government for old passing the law. Of course, you don't thief, Salon. me not will ever support you. But like them protesters there, when we call political prisoners, where in fact contradict the government message where they say political prisoners are not salon. In fact, judiciary they propose statements on that. Because the argument is clearly telling you say political prisoners. And we always we know say there are no political prisoners. So we need to clarify that.
No, that's what
it's about the law. Let me just
that they are political prisoners. But they make a disclaimer to those protests that they are not part of it. So let us be careful, Melvin.
If we say one come out of this political impasse, at some aspect, some portion of the law is going to be forfeited. We like this or not. If not, we are going to say that would technically tell the government say, let them not give and
that's take. What nobody said.
You must give and take no matter what.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's why you see the drafters of the agreement were very upon the consideration. But if we begin to stage a narration that the law is going to be compromised at some point.
We know that.
So that is the tight corner where the government did. They like it or not.
The government not in a tight corner. No, not in a tight corner. Okay. But here is this case, you present something, it's the government that's going to decide. So for me, it's not for two. It's for us, the citizen. Maybe we're on the same boat, but let us not compromise certain things for which you and I, we have been calling those people that these are the issues we need to address. You know, none of us will be happy because we are in the quagmire. Political quagmire. And these two political parties, maybe one day you and I will raise up, myself and you, we sit and say, let's organize our party to defeat. It is happening around the world. So this Alassane and Alusane, they will not allow them for compromise.
Can I tell you one thing I don't learn from politicians? Family, when I quote me right or wrong to Mabambai. Most people, I mean, a young man who don't see that this country. When they don't see Boku, they go hide under APC, SFP.
They talk.
And we forget to watch that issue, they carefully in this nation. And then political parties says them for be disciplined enough. And thankfully, there is a statement now that even the books there, then they need to be transparent. You know, if not with that situation, all chief man go on a political party. Is that what we want?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to keep a fine balance.
The chair of the mediation committee make a statement at the end of the day, say the media gets a role for play to ensure say the implementation of their resolution can be achieved. So what will be the role as the media?
That's a very good question. The kind of question they would ask, the one they would call for can answer that question and it get to be very critical. May you monitor this 1 week when you get situation of journalists that they present an image like nothing will happen. And what's not we talk like be. That is undermining the process because you need some person say he lost, the other person win. So the kind of question they would ask, the kind of narration, the kind of guests, the kind of invitees they would get will get a critical role, but not only the media, but civil society also. Yeah. Because we already set the agenda, the civil society, they run the agenda, they advocate. So if we can't even create wrong impression, like waiting MBS for them, they talk, say, this is above, unfortunately, they're not talking about this aggregated data. When they reach there, who was saying at the report, but not reach there. So the media will be very careful, they make journalists there. Let them go through the agreement, and let them read the preamble. I see many people then they digress on the resolution. The preamble first, it tells you a lot, even more than certain resolution stuff. So read the preamble. Very clear. And I like that word they use. It's very clearly stated that the constitution is sacrosanct. But when you look at it, dimension 32,
yes,
which talks about, you talk about that. It talks about the independence of ECSS. And it talks about 2.1 of the Right to Access Information Act.
Thank you.
Which talks about ECSS being a public institution and they are duty bound to publish. So it's a critical balance. And you already say SMBP win, APC loss, or APC loss, SMBP win. Nobody not win it, nobody not lost it. And nobody not win, nobody not lost. Let the process go smoothly. Right. So to regionalists there, let me left this bias business who want to make like proceedings above case. So to no above case, the process gone and not done it.
I think for me, like waiting, the media talk about the media, our role, right? My brother don't say all. We there for set the pace. And when we, give out the messages, right? Let we put her in the best form. Usai with people in way to understand them. When you look at the Vox Top way, they do. You the man where they talk say he wants, for election. Salon, now we spend on this election. With money and with time. Look at elections. Now, these are the first 10 way I see election. The whole year around the quarter. If you about 2023, just short, right? Because we dare into standstill. Before and after election, 4 months now, we're into this political quagmire I can put on. So for me, let me set the pace and let even the bloggers, right, those who are in the social media, I'm hearing so many things. Mamikos, my brother mentioned I just know. One of the things we I be mentioned them political, suicide on the social media. Nobody, you know, run after nobody. The Adebayo, you and I know that even now the APC, most of the bloggers, they disclaim them because they more than they will not for democracy. And let the APC say, I agree, where the two parties come together, whoever they for fanfare, right? I think say that person now, with this, thank God the European Union don't come, they don't tell you, say, you're on the right track, they will support the feed. Now, the one the way the Netherlands, right? I did by this time in 10 way for look at himself. Or the one the way, like ISO, because in a one person, even when this negotiation they go on that fateful day, will they within and beat money. They tell people instead they go out because the leader don't betray them. And you cannot do that. Respect your leadership. Respect the law. So my take care is President Bio will come out and give statement. That statement should be like a cobra. You have two breasts, you get bad picking. The other one good, but encourage them. So all other political parties. Well, the two bad.
Let us talk something. You talk about the media.
Yeah, we need to focus.
Again, a classical case we make mention of that man who they talk. We're a journalist, but we get a duty for. I don't say set the context.
Yeah.
That journalist didn't get right for tell and say, but point 3 talk say committee for
exactly.
Wait first.
Yes.
So the journalist says that the question how they ask the people back in the aim for soil narration
of course.
So for put context for a question, a person say like biggest sport now say they not talk about this and get. I'm going to challenge and say resolution 3 might indirectly speak to that. So we need to make people understand say this is a process, and we depend on us. Unfortunately, perhaps we'll use the whole of this year. Follow done.
Well, for me, within the 30 days, you understand, then we'll set the pace. That's 6 months. You don't do for let we resolve the issues there. That's 6 months. Exactly. Added to which we don't do. A need for make, the APC, the SLPP, for no say. There will be a time, and I talk this, then two political party. One just small thing called the common and shoots them two out. Because for waiting that they do to the citizens of this country, it was correct. It's okay.
Party will come over then two political parties.
All right. Because they misbehave,
Well, thank you very much, Solomon Sundu, civil society activist, and also Melvin Tijan Mansari joined me today in the show. Well, me bring the show to you. We can give you Ronald Jumove and plenty. Thank you to my producer, Mamela Mimbanya, and also to the technical crew who put together this show. Well, to meet again next week. Have a wonderful weekend.